Webster's Dictionary defines trash as something of little or no value, or something that is worthless or useless. And I think that's fitting for my top 10 worst movies of 2024. Films so egregious, so atrociously, disgustingly bad, they had to make the top 10 2024 worst list. And I will warn you, the movies I'm about to talk about are not for the faint of heart. I have spent the last year painstakingly combing through the bowels of streaming services, going out to theaters to spend my hard-earned coin to watch some of the worst films put on the big screen. And so since I've done the work, I might as well go the extra mile and give you my top 10 worst movies of 2024. Before we head to the number 10 spot, if you wouldn't mind heading to that subscribe button and the notification bell, just giving those each a quick jab, I would appreciate it. That way you can see more of my videos in the future, and I think that's best for both of us. And if you really want to go that extra mile, head on over to patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. It's the best way to support me and my one-man band. If you could just do me the service of going over there, there's different tiers, some of which feature exclusive movie reviews monthly. I'm talking about good classics that I like. This month, I go over The Witch, and I go over Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, right? Well, in this instance, life is like a box of shit, and you know exactly what you're gonna get. This list of movies is so bad to me that Borderlands didn't even make it on. So without any further poo-poo, let's get to the number 10. And this spot is incredibly special because it's not just one film, it's Trey. The Sony SpiderMan cinematic universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it managed to crap out 3 terrible movies in 1 year. We have Venom, The Last Ass, Pepsi Web, featuring about 12 seconds of these ladies in their actual superhero costumes. And of course, the final middle finger from Sony, Kraven the Hunter. Let there be Kraven. It's Kraven time. It's a bad time at the theaters. Now, while I don't think Venom 3 is as bad as the other two here, it's just only fair that I lump it in, because this Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it has produced nothing but bad after bad movie. And we hit the crescendo with the trifecta of trash coming out. These movies are all riddled with reshoots, terrible editing jobs. Pepsi Web, I don't know what's happening in half of that movie. Kraven the Hunter, I don't know what's happening in any of that movie. What's the point of these films? They're building up a universe that goes nowhere. The movies barely connect, which is incredibly ironic because Spider-Man shoots webbing, which is sticky and would connect things together, but he never shows up. There's no Spider-Man in these movies. How embarrassing. Not only that, but they tried to make villains heroes. It's just lame. It's a sad attempt at a universe. Kraven has terrible voice dubbing through all. You can tell the execs, the studio got involved in every inch of these movies. Not that there probably was a good film hidden inside, but the final product is just insulting to moviegoers. And I guess that's the only shining light at the end of this crap tunnel. The fact that people did vote with their wallet and they stopped giving Sony their money. Bill Skarsgård might be getting some recent praise for his performance as Dr. Robotnik in Nosferatu, but earlier this year, he came out with a movie that I don't think a single critic gave a tip of the hat to, and that's The Crow. I'm not gonna lie to you, this movie's so bad, it almost feels like it should be part of the Sony Spider-Man cinematic universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it. It kind of looks the same as those, it has no feel to it, it has no real style. It's just there, existing to cash in on the character and the brand. Skarsgård's Eric is in love with Shelley, played by FKA Twigs. Fuck a Twigs. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be said. She sucks in this movie. She's all teeth. Skarsgård sucks in this movie because he has this mamby-pamby voice. I'm the Crow. I'm gonna go fight bad guys. I'm the Crow. Look out, tough guys. The Crow is here. I don't know at what point in the year The Crow even came out, but I do know this. I forgot everything that happens in this movie outside of him getting pushed at one point, shoved backwards, where he finally splashes into some ooze and turns into the dumbass Crow version that we get. There's one action scene very late in the game. It's got that John Wick stank to it, but there is nothing about this movie that stands out in a good way. And by the way, for some of these movies that I'm drawing a blank on and don't want to go back down memory lane to talk about, I have full reviews on these movies on my channel. Typically, there's also a spoiler recap video to follow them. I'll make playlists so you can easily find them. It'll probably be called 2024's Worst Movies. And speaking of worst movies, let's continue on. At the number 8 spot, we have The Strangers. Chapter 1. They're making another one. It's already coming out soon. Oh man, that's fun. That's good stuff. This film follows maybe the 2 dumbest people on planet Earth. A couple of lovebirds shack up at an Airbnb that looks like something out of The Hills Have Eyes or Deliverance, while the rest of the town acts like they're in a movie like Hills Have Eyes or Deliverance. These 2 dipshits are gonna make bad choice after wrong decision. And I would say not even 50% into this movie, I was actively encouraging the killers to kill these people already. How could they not? Webster's dictionary defines stupid as the 2 people in this film. But as idiotic as these 2 morons are, they pale in comparison to everyone except for the villain in the next movie I'm gonna talk about, which is Trap. M. Night Shyamalan is back, baby! And he's bringing with him maybe his worst movie to date. Trap is so comically bad, it becomes almost entertaining because of how ridiculous it gets. Now, I do know people that unapologetically like this film, and to them I say, good for you. That's fine. This is all subjective at the end of the day. Once in a while, I get a comment, I see the comments, that's really upset that I'm presenting these things like it's fact. But no, I just have opinions, and I'm gonna proudly and strongly state them. And that's okay, that's what we do online. We give our piece, you give yours, and at the end of the day, we're talking about movies, it should be fun. But I didn't have fun watching Trap. I was actually frustrated beyond all belief. This is a movie about a father and a daughter that goes to a concert, and he's going to spend the majority of the time sneaking around trying to get out of what is essentially a big honeypot. This old lady FBI agent who was from the original Parent Trap, wink wink or something, she has this guy right in his sights. How does she know who he is though? What he looks like? Well, she got a tip from his wife. And apparently the wife couldn't give them a clear definition, a description of what he looks like. So it's just man. Look for guy. And based on the type of concert they're at, Lady Raven, it probably wouldn't be the hardest thing to find a guy. I mean, I imagine most of the audience is teenage girls and their moms. But no, this is gonna be a challenge for these idiots because our main antagonist, Cooper, is such a sly fox. He's able to get in and out of rooms and situations like it's nothing. He's fucking Houdini. Even people that do like Trap, though, I have found, have to use their own headcanon to justify all the insane things that happen in this film. All the conveniences that Cooper falls into, such as being able to sneak out of a limo while he's surrounded by FBI agents, or how he has a secret underground tunnel he's able to pop out the other side like Bugs Bunny. And what they will say is, he has superpowers. He's a supervillain. And this all takes place in the Unbreakable universe, like Split or Glass, or how I refer to it, ass. Why is that something you want to hang your hat on? That universe went to crap when they tried to tie it together in the final act. And also, there is zero indicator this is part of that world, Aladdin. There's nothing here that indicates he has some special secret abilities. Even if he does, that does not dismiss all the fucking stupid choices made. I cannot stress enough how many bad films I watched this year. I mean, you can see it on the history of the channel. To be fair, I also enjoyed quite a bit. But moving on, we're at the number 6 spot. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. That's right, there are 5 movies worse than this in my opinion this year. Pooh and the gang are all here. Well, not really, I mean, Pooh's in it, Piglet's barely present. You have Tigger, who looks atrocious. You have Owl, who doesn't even look like an owl. And they've decided that they're gonna do some meta commentary in this one. It's a movie inside of a movie. The first one was such a cash grab pile of shit with such low effort effects and costume design that they thought, all right, we have a bigger budget. Let's kind of dismiss that one as a movie within our movie based on true events that we're now going to change for the sequel. The creators of this whole Poohverse, as it's referred to, which is going to feature a Peter Pan movie, Pinocchio, Bambi, evil interpretations, has no fun with it. They are taking this so seriously. I don't understand. Like, they're not even in on the joke. And they're obsessed with taking off heads. Every kill is basically like a bear trap to the head, someone getting their head ripped off. Do you have anything else in the tank? If you're gonna take these beloved characters that are well known and popularized thanks to Disney, have some damn fun with it. Get creative, be self-referential. Also, they couldn't come up with a better subtitle for that. Winnie the Pooh, Tigger Rises, Winnie the Two. It's right there, people. Winnie the Two. At least provide some laughter or something more than this schlock. Yes, the effects are a bit better. Things are beefed up. They got some more budget. You can see it, but it's still a far cry from a good movie, and it's kind of just a waste of time to sit through. Oh bother, I say. What does one even say about Joker, Filet of Fish? A movie so painfully bad, it turned off not only fans of the original Joker, but basically fans of the character himself. Joker, Filet of Pooh is a musical experience. It's an enthralling, escapist film. It's very artsy, it's very profound, getting more into the psyche of Arthur. Told mostly behind bars at the prison, and then we go to the courtroom for the finale. Lady Gaga plays Harley Quinn, but not really, because both of these characters are being flipped on their head, dissected, shifted and changed so that they're barely recognizable from their comic counterparts or the movies of the past or the animated series or video games. They're just different characters. I'm not even huge on the original Joker, so imagine my surprise when I found this one to be more artsy-fartsy bullshit. I'm glad more people were able to see what I saw the first time around. Oh, he's doing more of his interpretive dancing, and now we can sing. There was a comment on my top 10 best movies of the year that said, Adam, how dare you not put Nosferatu on your list at number 1? I mean, it wasn't on my list at all because I didn't like the film. I know it's a crazy hot take. Sorry. I don't like everything that the mainstream likes. Sometimes I just don't jump on the ship, and that's okay. I still think Eggers is a great director. Love The Northman. Put it on my top 10 a year or so back. Love The Witch. Again, I just praised it on my Patreon. But the gentleman's point was the film has beautiful cinematography. Just objectively, it's a well-crafted film. Well, art is not just an objective thing, fam. Art is subjective. You gotta take both. And also, a movie is far more than its production value. Joker showed us that. Because the movie is beautiful looking. Cinematography is top-notch. And I would even argue that the acting in Joker, is better than Nosferatu. But story is the biggest part of this whole puzzle. And if you don't have that locked in, if it's not resonating with the audience, if it's not eliciting any sort of emotional response, if you can't connect with any of the characters on any level, then the technical shit is just that. It's technical shit. Who cares? There's a ton of beautiful movies that also nail the story. But Joker 2, Fecal in Toilet, is not it. Legendary director Zack Snyder has crafted a 2-part saga on Netflix that rivals, nay, surpasses that of Star Wars. This is what I've been told on the internet by the disciples of Lord Snyder himself. Let us birds of prey on the DCEU that once was. Snyder had a vision, and it just wasn't realized. But here we are. Now he's on the Netflix bandwagon. There's no strings on him. He's able to make the sci-fi saga that he always dreamed of and that his fans have been creaming for. And what did he do? He announced right away that there's director's cuts before the original cuts even made it out the door. It's brilliant! It's perfect! And so not only is Rebel Moon Part 2 the Shart Giver on my list, but also Rebel Moon the Director's Cut and Rebel Moon Part 2 the Director's Cut. All three of these phenomenal films released this year. And by phenomenal, I mean atrociously bad, hard to sit through movies. I don't think I've ever enjoyed anything less in my life. These are painful films to try to sit through. The visuals are constantly orgasming all over the screen. It's hard to even make sense of what's happening half the time. There's constant pew pew pews and explosions. We get all of these crop porn shots of wheat fields on planet Wheat. We have a Darth Vader 2.0 resurrected, rebuilt. He looks like a budget Nicholas Hoult. This is a big budget movie with a story that's been done to death of a ragtag crew having to bend the knee to the evil empire above. But no, they're not going to. Instead, they're going to fight back. They're going to resist. You could say they're the resistance. But then you would think about Star Wars. And then maybe you would shut this off and go watch Star Wars, the original trilogy, because it's so much better. Rebel Moon movies are so bad, I would rather sit through the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy again. I'm always on the lookout for a good comedy. So when Drive-Away Dolls was announced, originally titled Drive-Away Dykes, I thought, all right, this sounds like it's going to be up my alley. It's directed by one of the Coen brothers. They've been pretty hit and miss for me, but for the most part, I enjoy their stuff. They got some dark humor that jives with me. I think this could be potentially great. That's what I was thinking, till I saw it. Not only is Drive-Away Dolls unfunny, it is edited in such a puzzling way, I can't imagine this was actually done by a competent director like a Coen. This felt like some sort of weird amateur student film where the kid just found out how Final Cut works and that you can do transition animations. Whoa, I can do a slide to the left or a slide to the right? How about a crash down from the top? And I'll even put in a cheesy crashing effect like a Looney Tunes movie. That's how bad it is. This film stars Margaret Qualley, who is also in one of my favorite movies of 2024, The Substance. In fact, it was my favorite movie of 2024. And here she is, having to say some of the worst dialogue, put in the lamest situations, all so she can have that paycheck and work with a prominent director. It's sad. This is a gay road trip adventure, not to be confused with Love Lies Bleeding, which also came out this year, and was actually a really good movie until the final 5 or so minutes where it takes a turn into Stupidsville. Overall, that movie's far better than this, though, if you're looking for something in that category of gay road trip films. You're going to find something better there. And I'm a sucker for road trip movies. Road Trip is a hilarious film. Tommy Boy, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The Odd Couple. But this is an odd couple that just doesn't work. And it's not because Margaret or Geraldine, the actress that plays the other main character, aren't funny. They just aren't given funny material. This whole movie is a complete miss from front to back. I'm actually disgusted even talking about it again. Let's go to the number 2. Oh, Francis Ford Coppola. The man will always have Godfather. He'll always have Apocalypse Now. What the hell was this movie? Megalopolis. Megalopashit. Adam Driver might have the worst agent in history to keep doing these terrible films. And for Francis Ford Coppola, it doesn't matter. He wanted to make some super lavish, big budget sci-fi film, crap some of his money away. That's his thing. I mean, he's made some amazing movies in the past. He has a free card, but this whole film is just... it's atrocious. What we have here is a futuristic city of New Rome that's being controlled by a bunch of awful people at the top. The patriarchy has not died out, folks. But visionary artist Caesar Catalina is gonna put an end to that by harnessing some amazing newfound energy that he can manipulate and create whatever he envisions. And so over the course of this film, there's going to be schemes playing out. There's going to be whispers in hallways. There are going to be people trying to take Caesar down. And a lot of this stuff is going to be presented like it's a play. Characters will be kind of skipping and hopping into scenes. Ooh, did you hear what Caesar Catalina's up to today? And then Caesar's up in his tower. I am planning things that will make your eyes pop and your brain come out your ears. But what are ears and what is a brain but more of a subconscious experience that time itself cannot wield, but I can for some reason because I found this element. And he's just doing crap. He's just moving things around. He's just saying a bunch of nonsensical stuff. I hate this movie, but it's also a hilarious movie to watch. And I think giving this the number 2 spot is perfect. I'm not sure what I put on my number 1 worst movie of last year. I might have just did the same thing as this year. I don't care. I told you I watched a lot of bad movies. And the reason for it is simple. The rise of streaming services has not slowed down. It's only picked up steam, which means more exclusives away from the theaters and right to your home theater. Whether you're checking it out on Max, checking it out on Apple Plus, or checking it out on the Peacock. There is always something coming out. And these new studios don't seem to care even one iota about the quality. It's about quantity. Oh, Dwayne Johnson's available for a couple weeks of shooting? Perfect. We have a green screen and we have half a script, which is better than we've had in the last 3 movies we've worked on. Let's get him over here. I dedicated a dumb amount of time to checking out some of the bigger releases over the year. From the Brothers, to the Nutcrackers, to the Dear Santas. There was a little bit of something for no one. Mother of the Bride, Hot Frosty, Meet Me Next Christmas, Black Canary, Mr. Crockett, Girl Haunts Boy, Salem's Lot, Apartment 7A, Jackpot, featuring Awkwafina, my favorite star of 2024. I sure can't wait to see the next Awkwafina film. Kill me. Under Paris, Unfrosted, Lift, Time Cut, The Deliverance, not to be confused with Deliverance, The Killer, not to be confused with The Killer, directed again by John Woo. He remade one of his best films and he did a gender swap and also made it horrible. Then of course there's Uglies, based on the hit YA novel, that looks like they spent about 5 hours shooting in front of a green screen and then spending another 10 hours doing all the terrible CGI for. Keep in mind, I have reviews on all of these. I guess we're calling them films for some reason, so definitely check that out in the playlist. And then of course we get to the real hero of 2024. A woman of endless talent that not only sings and dances, but also acts, also writes, also directs, also somehow fits that bootylicious fat ass into a tight pair of pants. I'm talking about J-Lo, aka Jenny from the Block, aka Jennifer Lopez. And J-Lo, if you're watching, which of course you're not because you're better than me and everyone else on planet Earth, I have to thank you from the bottom of my crotch for giving me hundreds of new subscribers. Because not only did you star in that terrible Atlas Netflix exclusive, you made 2 of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life. This Is Me, ... now. And the making of featurette of This Is Me, ... now. The greatest love story never told. This Is Me Now is not just a movie. It's an experience. Think Purple Rain, but bad. Think Pink Floyd's The Wall, but bad. Think about the worst thing you can think of, but bad. That's This Is Me, ... now. Part embarrassing music video, part horrendous script. It all culminates together in a cinematic journey like no other before. And right after you're done watching this magic unspool, do yourself the disservice of watching the making of, the documentary about Jennifer Lopez's struggle, making this film a reality, putting pen to pad, opening up her heart and soul, and pouring out all the struggles of her life, which are mostly revolved around being a bad partner in marriage. So much so that the lover you are prominently featuring in both of your movies, Ben Affleck, is out the door again. Yes, 2024, a really, really awful time when it comes to movie streaming exclusives. Yeah, there were a couple decent ones, but my God, did you have to search them out, people. For every one decent film, there were like 1,000 bad ones. Well, there you have it. We did it. We made it through the muck. We made it through all this disgusting hot garbage, and we came out clean on the other side. Andy Dufresne style. I know I cheated a little bit, but honestly, it would have been so hard. This was such a challenging list for me to put together because it's like, oh, do I just go on popularity? Then yeah, I'll put Borderlands on here and crap on that for a while. But no, compared to these movies, Borderlands was at least watchably bad. These movies are insulting for different reasons, mainly because the ones that are on here that you could sit through, like Trap, are done by real directors. Megalopolis? Francis Ford Coppola? Are you out of your mind? Drive Away Dolls? Cohen, what do you do? What were you drinking? Anyway, I could go on and on till the break of dawn, but I want to hear from you. Give me your top 10 worst list. See if you can beat mine. I think it's pretty much impossible. There's no way people sat through the types of shit that I did this year. No one hates themselves as much as I do, I can assure you. Let me know. Please like the video and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family. I want to get to that 100,000. I want that coveted plaque from YouTube, that silver play button that I can put in the background and feel special for a day. And with that, I take my leave. It's 2025. I have a feeling there's going to be plenty more bad movies to sit through and tell you about. I'll see you soon. Hey, thanks again for watching the video. Since you made it this far, maybe think about joining me on patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, because not only are you helping to support this one-man band like these fine folks next to me have, you are also getting exclusive videos monthly. Even if you don't have the funds right now, you can still become a member there for free and at least see what's going on in case in the future you want to make that jump. All right, take care.